Nehemiah Chapter 1 The words of Nehemiah the son of Hacaliah. Now in the month Chislev, in the 20th year, while I was in Susa the capital, Hanani, one of my brothers, came, he and some men from Judah, and I asked them about the Jews who had escaped, who were left from the captivity, and about Jerusalem. And they said to me, the remnant who are left from the captivity there in the province are in an exceedingly bad state and reproach, and the wall of Jerusalem is broken down and its gates have been burned with fire. And when I heard these words, I sat down and wept, and I mourned for some days, and I fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. And said, I beseech you, O Jehovah the God of heaven, the great and awesome God, who keeps covenant and lovingkindness with those who love him and keep his commandments. Let your ear be attentive and your eyes open to hear the prayer of your servant, which I pray before you now day and night, concerning the children of Israel, your servants, while I confess the sins of the children of Israel that we have sinned against you. Indeed, I and the house of my father have sinned. We have been most corrupt toward you and have not kept the commandments and the statutes and the ordinances that you commanded Moses your servant. Remember now the word that you commanded Moses your servant, saying, If you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the peoples. But if you return to me and keep my commandments and perform them, though your outcasts are under the ends of heaven, from there I will gather them and bring them to the place where I have chosen to cause my name to dwell. Now these are your servants and your people, whom you have redeemed by your great power and by your strong hand. I beseech you, O Lord, let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant and to the prayer of your servants, who take delight in fearing your name, and cause your servant to prosper today, and grant him to find compassion before this man. Now I was cupbearer to the king. Nehemiah Chapter 2 Then in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, while wine was being set before him, I took up the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had never been sad in his presence. And the king said to me, Why is your face sad, since you are not ill? This is nothing other than sadness of heart. Then I was greatly frightened. And I said to the king, May the king live forever. Why should my face not be sad, when the city, the place of my father's graves, lies in waste and its gates are consumed with fire? And the king said to me, What do you request? So I prayed to the God of heaven. And I said to the king, If it please the king and if your servant has found favor before you, that you would send me to Judah to the city of my father's graves that I may rebuild it. And the king said to me, and the queen was sitting beside him, How long will your going be, and when will you return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I gave him a date. Then I said to the king, If it please the king, let letters be given to me for the governors beyond the river, so that they will let me pass through until I come to Judah. And a letter to Asaph, the keeper of the park, which belongs to the king, so that he would give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace that belongs to the house and for the wall of the city and for the house that I will be entering. And the king gave these to me according to the good hand of my God, which was upon me. So I went to the governors beyond the river and gave them the king's letters. And the king had sent with me captains of the army and horsemen. And when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite servant heard of this, it displeased them greatly that a man had come seeking the good of the children of Israel. Thus I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. And I arose at night, I and some few men with me. And I told no man what my God had put into my heart to do for Jerusalem. And there was no animal with me except the animal I rode on. And I went out at night by the valley gate, toward the Jackal spring and the dung gate, and inspected the walls of Jerusalem, which had been broken down and whose gates had been consumed with fire. Then I passed on to the fountain gate and to the king's pool, but there was no place for the animal under me to pass through. And I went up at night by the brook and inspected the wall, and turned back and went in by the valley gate and so returned. And the rulers did not know where I had gone or what I had been doing, and I had not as yet told it to the Jews and the priests and the nobles and the rulers and the rest who were to do the work. Then I said to them, You see the bad state we are in, that Jerusalem lies in waste and its gates are burned with fire. Come and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem so that we will no longer be a reproach. And I told them about the hand of my God, which was good upon me, and also about the king's words, which he had spoken to me. And they said, Let us rise up and build, and they strengthened their hands for the good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite servant and Geshem the Arabian heard of it, they mocked us and despised us, and they said, What is this thing that you will do? Will you rebel against the king? And I answered them and said to them, The God of heaven himself will make us prosper, therefore we his servants will rise up and build. But you have no portion nor right nor memorial in Jerusalem. Nehemiah Chapter 3 Then Eliashib the high priest rose up with his brothers the priests and built the sheep gate. They consecrated it and erected its doors, even as far as the Tower of the 100 they consecrated it and as far as the Tower of Hanani. And next to him the men of Jericho built. And next to them Zachar the son of Imri built. And the sons of Hasanah built the fish gate, they laid its beams and set up its doors, its bolts, and its bars. And next to them Mirmoth the son of Uriah, the son of Hakaz made repairs. And next to them Meshullam the son of Berechiah, the son of Meshezabel made repairs. And next to them Zadok the son of Bana made repairs. And next to them the Tekoites made repairs, but their nobles would not put their necks to the service of their lord. And Joiada the son of Paseah and Meshullam the son of Besadiah repaired the old gate, they laid its beams and set up its doors and its bolts and its bars. And next to them Melatiah the Gibeonite and Jadon the Meronothite with the men of Gibeon and of Mizpah made repairs to the throne of the governor beyond the river. Next to him Uzziel the son of Harhaiah, one of the goldsmiths, made repairs. And next to him Hananiah, one of the perfumers, made repairs, and they fortified Jerusalem even unto the broad wall. And next to them Rephaiah the son of Hur, the ruler of half the district of Jerusalem, made repairs. And next to them Jediah the son of Harumaph, opposite his house. And next to him Haddish the son of Hashabniah made repairs. Malchijah the son of Haram and Hashub the son of Pahath-Moab repaired another section, including the tower of the furnaces. And next to him Shallum the son of Halahesh, the ruler of half the district of Jerusalem, made repairs, he and his daughters. Hanan and the inhabitants of Zanoah repaired the valley gate, they built it and set up its doors, its bolts, and its bars, as well as 1,000 cubits of the wall to the dung gate. And Malchijah the son of Rechab, the ruler of the district of Beth-Haccherem repaired the dung gate, he built it and set up its doors, its bolts, and its bars. And Shallum the son of Colhoseh, the ruler of the district of Mizpah, repaired the fountain gate, he built it and covered it and set up its doors, its bolts, and its bars, as well as the wall of the pool of Shelah by the king's garden, even to the stairs that go down from the city of David. After him Nehemiah the son of Azbuk, the ruler of half the district of Beth-zur, made repairs, from a place opposite the sepulchres of David and as far as the pool that was made and as far as the house of the mighty men. After him the Levites, under Rehum the son of Bani, made repairs. Next to him Hashabiah, the ruler of half the district of Keilah, made repairs for his district. After him their brothers, under Bavai the son of Henadad, the ruler of half the district of Keilah, made repairs. And next to him Ezer the son of Jeshua, the ruler of Mizpah, repaired another section, opposite the ascent to the armory at the turning of the wall. After him Baruch the son of Zabbai diligently repaired another section, from the turning of the wall to the door of the house of Eliashib the high priest. After him Mirmoth the son of Uriah the son of Hakaz repaired another section, from the door of the house of Eliashib even to the end of the house of Eliashib. And after him the priests, the men from the plain, made repairs. After them Benjamin and Hashub made repairs opposite their house. After them Azariah the son of Maaseiah the son of Ananiah made repairs beside his own house. After him Binnui the son of Henadad repaired another section, from the house of Azariah to the turning of the wall, then to the corner. Palal the son of Uzai made repairs from in front of the turning of the wall, and on the tower that projects out from the upper house of the king, which is by the court of the guard. After him was Pedaiah the son of Parash. Now the temple servants dwelt on the offal, as far as the point opposite the water gate on the east, and the tower that projects out. After him the Tekoites repaired another section, opposite the great tower that projects out and to the wall of the offal. Above the horse gate the priests made repairs, each one opposite his own house. After them Zadok the son of Immer made repairs opposite his own house. And after him Shemaiah the son of Shechaniah, the keeper of the east gate, made repairs. After him Hananiah the son of Shelemiah and Hanan the sixth son of Zalaph repaired a second section. After him Meshullam the son of Berechiah made repairs, opposite his quarters. After him Malchijah, one of the goldsmiths, made repairs as far as the house of the temple servants and the merchants, opposite the muster gate and as far as the ascent of the corner. And between the ascent of the corner and the sheep gate the goldsmiths and the merchants made repairs. Nehemiah Chapter 4. And when Sanballat heard that we were building the wall, he became angry and was greatly enraged, and he mocked the Jews. And he spoke to his brothers and the army of Samaria and said, What are these feeble Jews doing? Will they restore it for themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they finish in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the dust heaps, though they are burned? And Tobiah the Ammonite was beside him, and he said, Even their stone wall that they are building, if a fox were to go up on it, he would breach it. Hear, O our God, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head, and give them as spoil in the land of captivity. And do not cover their iniquity and do not let their sin be blotted out before you, for they made provocations before the builders. So we built the wall, and all the wall was joined together to half its height, for the people had a heart to work. And when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the restoration of the walls of Jerusalem was advancing, that the breaches were beginning to be closed up, they became very angry. And all of them conspired together to come and fight against Jerusalem and cause confusion in it. But we prayed to our God, and because of them we set a watch against them day and night. And Judah said, The strength of the burden-bearers fails, and the debris is great, and we are not able to build the wall. And our adversaries said, They will not know, nor even see, until we come into their midst and slay them and cause the work to stop. And when the Jews who dwelt near them came, they said to us 10 times, They will come up against us from all the places that you turn to. So I set men in the lowest places behind the wall, on the exposed areas, and I set the people by families with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And when I saw the situation, I rose up and said to the nobles and the rulers and the rest of the people, Do not be afraid of them, remember the great and awesome Lord, and fight for your brothers, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. And when our enemies heard that their counsel was known to us and that God frustrated it, we all returned to the wall, each man to his work. And from that day half of my servants labored in the work, and half of them held the spears and the shields and the bows and the armor, and the rulers were behind all the house of Judah. Those who built the wall and those who carried burdens took the loads with one hand doing the work and with the other holding a weapon. And as for the builders, each had his sword strapped to his side, and so they built, and he who sounded the trumpet was beside me. And I said to the nobles, the rulers, and the rest of the people, The work is great and large, and we are separated on the wall, each far from the other. In whatever place you hear the sound of the trumpet, gather yourselves to us there. Our God will fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of them held spears from the start of dawn until the stars came out. I also said to the people at that time, Let every man and his servant spend the nights inside Jerusalem so that they may be a guard for us by night and work by day. So neither I nor my brothers nor my servants nor the men of the guard who followed me, none of us took off our clothes, each had his weapon at his right hand.